What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be educating you on what you are missing out on at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. You guys, if you do not go to TJ Maxx and Marshalls to, hunt down a good deal on makeup, you should probably start doing that. I can't promise that it's always going to be great. I can't promise that you're always going to find a treasure trove of amazing things. But you guys, there's some good stuff there. You do not want to be missing out on what they got going on down at Marshalls and TJ Maxx. I am telling you. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Whatever. If you want to know what's on my face, stick around to the end of the video. I am wearing something from the mystery box from Unearthly Cosmetics that they came out with for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to keep that to the end. Just for anybody who doesn't want that spoiled for them. You can click away before I start talking about what's on my face. So let's just get right into talking about all of the fabulous things that I have found for a steep discount at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. The thing that prompted me to want to film this video was an experience that I had very, very recently. Just the other day, I went to Marshalls and found kind of a gold mine. It was funny because I was walking around for a while, not even just looking at like makeup stuff. Like I looked at the makeup stuff real quick and I was like, oh, okay, nothing really good over here. There were like people over there. I didn't want to be like hanging out too long. And then I walked around the store, was looking at all kinds of things. I was waiting for my husband because we were supposed to go to Kohl's together. So I was just like hanging out over there waiting for him. And then after a while of looking around, I went back to the makeup and I looked again and I was like, there's still like, even with more time to like really look at everything, there were less people over there. There was still nothing really interesting. So I was like, okay. And then I saw makeup sponges on like the back wall and I was like looking at them for a while and I was like, I don't know what to get. But I didn't recognize any of the names of the brands or anything. And I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to get anything. And I turned around. And when I turned around, let me just show you. All of this had magically appeared behind me. I guess while I was looking at the sponges, somebody that worked there must have come over and put these out on the shelves. And I turned around, I saw these first. There were actually 3 of these, but I didn't get all of them. I wasn't really feeling the color story of the other one. I saw these and I was like, is that Glamlight? I was like, are those the Hershey's palettes from Glamlight? What is going on? And lo and behold, here they are. And then I continued kind of just glancing over the shelves just to see if anything else had magically appeared. And I think the next thing that I saw was this. Are you kidding me? The Frosted Flakes palette? I've heard so many good things about this palette and I've been wanting it. And it was kind of like on my list of things to get from Glamlight. I just bought from Glamlight for the first time. I still haven't actually tried the products, but I just bought from them for the first time. I got the Scooby-Doo palettes and the Chocolate Martini palette. I haven't tried them yet. I'm taking it real slow on all my new purchases and trying things, but this is a brand that I have heard so many good things about and I've been wanting to try for so long. And lo and behold, just sitting there at... Oh, I threw out the box. I don't know how much this was. I think this was the most expensive one. I think it was maybe $16. How much does this go for on their website? Like 30 something, isn't it? These ones were, I think, like 10. Super cheap. And then I continued to look and I found this. This was, I think, I still have the tag for this one. Oh no, this one was 10. This palette was 10. I guess these ones were maybe 11 or something. I don't even remember. I threw out the packaging on those ones, so I don't know what the price was. But this one was only $10. So, I mean, let's open these. Let's look at these. When this one first came out, I was like, oh my God, I need that. I love like reds and berries and stuff. But I was like, you know what? I have so much red, so many pinks. I have all this stuff. But it still was in the back of my mind because look at this. Are you kidding me? It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's super monochromatic, but it's beautiful nonetheless. I love this palette and I can't wait to use it. This might end up being the first palette that I try from them. We'll see. Then the Hershey's palettes, I got this beautiful blue one. Again, super monochromatic. I maybe could have skipped these because I kind of have these color stories from other brands. But I just think that these cute little Hershey's Kiss shaped palettes are super fun. For some reason I suck at opening them, but like this is the color story for the purple one. And then this baby. Everybody knows I love Angelica. Talk about her all the time. She raves about this palette. She loves this palette. Honestly, I think everybody that I watch on YouTube loves this palette. I mean, how could you not? Like, look at that. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Look, the orange, the blue. Stating the obvious, but I mean, it's a gorgeous color story. So that was the stuff that kind of prompted me to want to do this video, but I was thinking about it, and you guys, I've found so many incredible things at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. One of the other more recent things that I got, I know I've shown these before, but I found the Bridgerton collection from Pat McGrath at, what was it? It was TJ Maxx. I found these at TJ Maxx, right? Yeah. They have the sticker on them, so I can know for sure. So I got the first palette, the Wave 1 palette. The Wave 1 palette. Beautiful, gorgeous. Pat McGrath, super expensive. I got this for, I got this for 25 bucks. This, when it first came out, was going for 60 something dollars, I think, like 62 or something crazy like that. I got it for 25 bucks. That's like more than 50% off, you guys. That's a good deal. I also got the Wave 2 palette, or whatever, collab part 2 palette. This one, also gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Super excited to use this. This is another brand that I bought a few things in like sales and obviously TJ Maxx, but I still haven't tried yet. Again, taking it real slow with all the stuff that I bought in all these sales. And same deal with that, it was 25 bucks. And then the last thing that I got was the little face palette from the first wave, or first collab, whatever. 2 blushes. Actually, is this 2 blushes? I think that this one's a blush. I think the one in the middle is a blush. And that's definitely a blush. And then this is the highlighter. So, gorgeous palette. Can't wait to use this as well. And this one was how much? 20 bucks. 20 bucks for Pat McGrath. Isn't that wild? How much is one blush from her? Isn't it like 30 something dollars? So thank you, TJ Maxx, for that. So like, obviously you can find really great high-end stuff there. I didn't grab it, but I had the Ives Saint Laurent, is that how you pronounce that? Whatever, the palette that my buddy Nicole gave to me, and I think she said she got it at Marshalls. That's another super expensive high-end palette that was available for a super steep discount at Marshalls. But the brand that I've bought the most of from TJ Maxx and Marshalls is BH. BH Cosmetics is a great, well, they used to be an indie brand. Now they're kind of under the umbrella of Makeup Revolution, but they were having some financial trouble for a while, and during that period I was seeing their stuff all the time in TJ Maxx and Marshalls. And some of the stuff that I found at TJ Maxx and Marshalls were discontinued palettes. My absolute favorite thing that I found from this brand at these stores, the Sweet Shop palettes. These are discontinued palettes. You can't get them from BH anymore. You can't really get them anywhere, but I found them at I think I found 2 of them at TJ Maxx and 1 at Marshalls. Yeah. So the first one that I spotted was this one. This is the Pistachio Palette. And I found this one. There were a whole bunch of these out at TJ Maxx. And I was like, oh my God, I have to get those. I've heard such great things. I owned one palette from this collection. It was the Cotton Candy palette. I bought that from BH when I was buying things from them. But these ones were not on their website anymore. They were all gone. So when I saw this in the store, I was like, oh my God, I've heard such great things about this palette. I gotta get it. And I kind of looked through them and got one that looked like nobody had touched it, because that is a downside to TJ Maxx and Marshalls. People will open these palettes. Sometimes they will swatch them. Sometimes they will put their little dirty ass fingers in there. No. We're not into that. But I found one that looked like nobody had touched it. Super fresh, super beautiful. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't believe I found this. But I was looking through them because there were a bunch of these. And I was like, are there any other ones in here? The one that I really wanted to find was the cherry on top, which is the red one. I was looking through all of them and they were all pistachio. And I was kind of digging through. And then I get to the very back of all the palettes and I see one, the cherry on top. And let me tell you, this is one of my favorite palettes. I was saying before that I love reds. Look at this palette. Are you kidding me? It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's scrumptious. And I got it at TJ Maxx. Like, are you kidding me? How much did I spend on this thing? This thing was $8. $8. I was so excited when I found these palettes. I was like on a high for the rest of the day because I found these things. And I use them. I love them. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. Do you see this palette? Were it not for TJ Maxx, I never would have gotten these because couldn't get them anywhere else. And then the last discontinued palette that I got from... Is it the last one? There actually is one more. But the last one from the Sweet Shop collection that I found was, what's this one called? Sugar Cone. I found this one at Marshalls. This is the more neutral palette in the collection. And I don't use this one as much, but it is beautiful. I was super excited to find it. I mean, just to have these palettes is so great. These shimmers, the formula is so shimmery and so incredible. So lucky to find these. And on the same day that I found the Sugar Cone palette, there was another, the cherry on top, and I convinced my buddy Nicole to get it, and she loves it. So there's that as well. Thanks, Marshalls. I did find one other discontinued palette. This is the Scorpion Sting palette. This is one of their Halloween palettes from 2021, and I had 4 of the palettes. I had the blue one, the red pink one, the purple one, and the green one. And I always kind of wish that I had gotten this one, the orange one, but it was no longer available. The whole collection was no longer available. But then one day I was in Marshalls with my friends, and lo and behold, here it is. I mean, look at the luck. Look at this beautiful palette. And, you know, were it not for Marshalls, I would have never gotten it. So that's the thing about Marshalls. Not only can you find these more expensive palettes at a discount, but you can also find things that are discontinued and, you know, you can't get them anywhere else anymore, which I think is super fun. Some other things that I got from BH that I got at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Actually, I think I got all of these at Marshalls, if I'm not mistaken. But I got the Lost in Los Angeles palette. I kind of got this one because everyone had been talking about it around the time that the Natasha Denona pastel palette came out, because everyone was kind of comparing it to this. They're like, oh, this is cheaper and better. So I was like, okay, let me get it. Let me try it. I haven't really done anything with this one all on its own. I've used it a few times for the mattes, used the mattes with like multi-chromes. But these shimmers are really gorgeous, and I really need to do some looks with just this palette. I also got this cute little one. This is one of the Weekend Vibes palettes. This is Mimosa. I love this color story. I still have not actually used this one, but I'm glad that I have it, because it was one of those palettes where, look at this shine on the packaging. It's kind of distracting, but this was one of those ones where I had seen it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of awesome. I love that color story. And then I was like, I kind of want it, but I kind of like, whatever. And then I found it for $8. How many shadows are in here? 16? That's 50 cents a shadow. So I got it. And honestly, like, I'm glad now that I have it. Just so I can say that I have it, you know? Sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes... like, you don't even necessarily need to use the palette. Just knowing that you have it is like comforting. At least for me it is. I don't know. And then the last one that I got at Marshalls was the Do Not Disturb palette. This is what it looks like. The palette that I really wanted from this Say It collection was the looking like a snack palette. I ended up buying that one later at Ulta because it was available at Ulta. But I saw this one in Marshalls and I said, that's coming home with me. And I'm glad that I did because this goes really well as a companion piece to the looking like a snack palette. So yeah, I've gotten a lot of really good stuff from TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I do want to give you a little rundown of the downsides though. Like I said before, people will touch those palettes, they will take them out of the packaging. Sometimes the packaging will be like completely busted up when you're looking at those things. Because people have no couth. They like just rip things open. They're like, I want to see what it looks like. And it's like, calm down. So they just like tear into things, you know? And so sometimes you go to look at something and the packaging is like completely torn up, or you go to look at something and it's just a box and the palette is like somewhere else, or you go to look at something and it's just the palette without the box and it's like, what the hell? That's definitely a downside of buying from TJ Maxx and Marshalls. But also, like I said, people will touch those shadows with their grubby little fingers, and you know, sometimes if there's more than one of a palette, you can kind of go through and look for one that is pristine, like I said I did with the Pistachio Palette. I also, thank goodness, the cherry on top was untouched, by the way. Like when I pulled it out, I was like, oh god, I hope nobody touched this. It was fine, thank god. But I also kind of did that with my Pat McGrath palettes as well. There were a few of each of them, and I picked out ones that looked like nobody had touched them. But that is kind of a downside. You kind of have to like make sure that everything is like sanitary and untouched. Sometimes a box will look pretty pristine, and then you open it up and there's like a little fingerprint. It's like, oh, you sneaky little bastard. Sometimes people are sneaky, you know. Oh, another brand, by the way, that I see all the time in TJ Maxx and Marshalls is Morphe. Just saying, if you ever want like one of those big ass Morphe palettes, you might find it at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Especially now that they're having financial trouble, I bet that you'll find a lot of them there. But anyway, back to the downsides. As I was saying, easily distracted. Another downside too is obviously you never know what they're going to have there. You might go there kind of hoping to find, you know, the jackpot, like I have in the past. And you end up finding a whole lot of nothing, a whole lot of trash. But when you do find something that's really nice, sometimes it's like, oh no, I have to buy this right now because chances are if I leave it, it's going to be gone and I'm not going to be able to come back and get it. That's kind of how I felt when I saw the Glamlight palettes. I turned around and I was like, oh snap. I was going to not spend money. Now I'm definitely spending money. But I mean, I got them at a steep discount. Like, they were palettes that I was planning on buying anyway. Well, dramatic. I will say, I probably would not, actually, I almost definitely would not have gotten these if they weren't, you know, what were they? What, $11? There's a good chance I might not have gotten this one if it wasn't there. Although, again, super glad that I did. Because let's just pop it open one more time. It's absolutely stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So glad that I got this. But yeah, sometimes it's just an absolute treasure trove, and then other times it's just a trash heap. And you kind of just have to go in and see. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what I wanted to talk about. I kind of just wanted to tell you the stories of all of my fun little excursions to TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and let you know that if you are sleeping on TJ Maxx and Marshalls, you should get on it. Oh, and if you're living in the UK, it's TK Maxx, right? It's like different for some reason, but it's basically the same thing. I think it's actually the same company. It's just called TK Maxx over in the UK. I don't know. Do people in the UK watch me? Let me know in the comments if you're from the UK and you watch me. Pretty sure most of my viewers are from the US, but whatever. How do you like my look, you guys? Let me tell you now, at the end of the video, you know, you can click away now if you don't want anything spoiled for that Valentine's Day box. I can't talk right now. But let me tell you what I have on my face. The foundation and concealer are my Lancome, you know, same old, same old. Well, actually, technically, the foundation is a new one, different shade, but it's still Lancome. The eyeshadow palette that I used was actually this bad boy. This is the Fantasy Cosmetica Sorcerer palette. This is such a great palette. This is my first time using it. I wanted this thing for a while, and I finally got it in the Black Friday sale, and I kept putting off using it because like I said, I'm taking it slow with all these new palettes, but I am so glad that I used this thing. It is so incredible. These shimmers are so beautiful. I ended up only using 2. I used this one in the middle on like most of my eyes and also on my lips, by the way. And then I took this pink one here and ran it underneath. I could have just used a matte for that, but I wanted to use this shimmer. But the rest of the look is just mattes. I used all of the mattes in the palette. You guys, I had heard, you know, from YouTubers and stuff that the mattes aren't the best quality in here, but I was honestly shocked by how good the mattes in here performed, at least for me. You know, this first time using it, like, they went on like a dream and they blended like a dream. And I don't know, like, this was just such an easy look to do. The only one that gave me any trouble at all was the blue, but like, blue is hard to formulate. Blue is usually not that good in palettes. I just kind of like packed it on. It's in like the center of my lid. I packed it on and just blended it out a little bit, took my time with it, and it was fine. These shadows, the purple and the pinks, so good, so easy. This was so easy to use. I can't wait to use this again. I want to do like so much more with this. I want to use all of the different shimmers and things. It's such a beautiful palette and I love it. So there's that. It's a little bit of an older palette, so I didn't do a dedicated video on it. Oh, for my eye base, I used my Sigma eye base in Persuade. On my lips, I have a lippy pencil from ColourPop. What is it called? Bull Chic. It's just a black lippy pencil. I just kind of lined my lips with it, and then I'm using this NYX Lingerie XXL liquid lip in the shade... I don't know what the shade is. Oh, wait. Naughty Noir. What the hell? Well, anyway, that's the lip. I did use my face palette from Kaleidos. Just, you know, the setting powder, tiny bit of contour. For my highlighter, I used the Kaleidos Mars Melter. Just, you know, on the top of my cheeks, a tiny bit on the forehead. And then finally, the product from the Unearthly Cosmetics Valentine's Day box that I used today, the Surrender Glowy Blush Palette. I used this shade right here on the end, which is the cool toned shade, a little bit purpley. I didn't go crazy. If you watched my video where I opened this box and like used these things, I went nuts, completely nuts. Didn't go crazy with this today, so this is what it looks like. Actually, before I put on the crazy ass lip and the eyeshadow, I looked like really cute with just like the Sigma base on my eyes and the face makeup. Like, I looked really, I don't know, just like neutral, natural, but like made up and nice. I don't know, it was cute. But anyway, I'm also wearing Prance in my waterline. If you know, you know. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that I was able to educate you a little bit. If you didn't know how fabulous TJ Maxx and Marshalls really are. And I hope you liked looking at my stuff. I hope you like my look. And I hope that you will come back on Sunday. I post every Wednesday and every Sunday. And I guess that's it, right? Oh, and I filmed this whole video without any pants on. So there's that. Okay, anyway, hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Give me a comment if you have anything Nice to say. Nice things only. No negativity on this channel. And I'll be seeing you on Sunday. Peace.